This episode is brought to you by Resy and American Express. Resy is a digital platform that connects restaurants to restaurant lovers by elevating dining experiences, providing original industry content, and helping to fill some of the country's most exciting dining rooms. Because restaurants have always been more than just places to eat. The amazing world of restaurants is just a few taps away in the Resy app and at resy.com.
I wanted my work to be open to more people. And as soon as you mention the word vegetarian or vegan, people automatically think this is not for me or this is about less.
Yeah.
And I think for me, vegetarian food has always been about more. Mm-hmm. You know, there's more flavor, more texture, more thought, more consideration.
This is Taste. I'm your host, Matt Rodbard. Hetty McKinnon is one of our favorite recipe developers and writes a mean Substack to boot. She's the author of a terrific new book, Linger, which smartly bridges her love for plant-based cooking, dinner parties, and salad artistry. On this episode, Hetty returns to the studio to discuss her viral tomato and dumpling salad and why a party at Hetty's house might include a photo shoot. Also on the episode, I have a great conversation with Tony Chapman. Tony is a passionate home cook, recipe developer, and the creator of Tony's Recipes and The Moody Foodie, where she shares bold, comforting dishes made for real life. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hetty McKinnon, welcome to This Is Taste. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming in. I have always wanted to interview you.
Really?
I have. I love your work. I love your attitude. I think your recipe writing is as good as it gets.
Oh, thank you. I'll come here more often.
You can come back whenever you want. Eliza interviewed you a few years ago, but I'm a fan.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm a fan of yours too.
Well,
this is Mutual Admiration Society.
Admiration Society. always great to hear that. Before we get into Linger and really some of your amazing editorial work, I want to know, you live in New York City. Where are you dining out these days?
I kind of feel like I haven't dined out much, but you know where I go back again and again? Pasta night in Prospect Heights.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I love that place.
I know it, but I haven't been.
Renato's place. It's so good. I don't eat a lot of pasta at home because pasta night does it so well.
Yeah.
Like the shapes. You know, like at most pasta places, you think about the sauce.
Yes.
With him, it's the shapes.
Yeah.
It's like so good. Like the cacio e pepe comes with like this pasta that's almost looks like octopus tentacles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
So he's doing some extruded and some hand-rolled fresh pastas there, I think I recall.
So good.
I love that recommendation. In New York, though, are there any new restaurants that you want to go to, or are you kind of not really as restaurant focused as?
I'm not. I like going to restaurants, but I find that I like places I've been to over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every now, because I'm vegetarian too, sometimes like all the hot new restaurants are not, right up my alley because there's might not be like, if it's a barbecue restaurant, it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like old school stuff for me. You know, my favorite restaurant in New York, I don't know if I should say it.
Oh, gatekeeping here. Doing a little gatekeeping.
A little bit. No, it's probably not. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I love momos, like Nepalese, Himalayan. So Omwok in Queens. Have you been?
No, I haven't been.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Omwok.
It's my daughter actually introduced it to me. She discovered it on the Momo crawl in Queens.
We talked about that in the show.
And that was her favorite. So
amazing.
We go there all the time.
That's so great. Great recommendation. And I feel it. Like as a vegetarian, sometimes New York City has its challenges.
It does. It's surprising. It's actually surprising to me that it should. But often there's menus where, there's not that many options still.
Let's talk about vegetarianism. You're 30 years on in that being your point of view with food.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of time for reflection.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, like, where are you at with it? Are you happy with the decision?
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000%.
Weird question, maybe, but I feel you hear sometimes longtime vegetarians will integrate fish and will start to kind of lean towards that. But tell me, what do you think? Where are you at right now?
I mean, I love the decision I made. I mean, honestly, I don't even think it was a decision. I think it was something that my body needed and something I'm very happy with. I'm constantly inspired by coming up with vegetarian options of things myself in my own kitchen. So I don't know, I feel healthy. I'm always inspired by being a vegetarian, and I love teaching people about how you can eat better vegetarian food. So I don't know. It really suits me. I feel like it's the way I should have always been eating.
It offers a immense challenge as a recipe developer in some ways, but also offers that opportunity to teach, as you say, teaching the plant-based diet, the vegetarian diet. We need more of it in our world.
And what's interesting is a lot of people don't know I'm vegetarian. So I get asked this question a lot.
Yeah.
In the wild, people always say, are you actually vegetarian? And I'm like, yes. I mean, I don't actually develop. I think there are many vegetarian developers who actually work with meat and fish. And I remember early on I was asked to do a day of cooking at a media test kitchen, and they said, well, at the end of the day, could you actually just make one of these chicken recipes? And I'm like, well, I don't handle raw meat, and I don't want to cook it. So, I mean, at home, I do a little bit of like very selective, like I'll open a can of Spam.
Yeah.
For my boys.
Yeah. Wonderful choice.
Because I grew
love
up with
Spam.
Spam, and I kind of went back and was like, I want my boys to know what Spam is. So I do that. But generally, I don't like to touch like raw meat. So.
What's the Spam dish that when you're cracking that can?
Fried rice.
Yeah,
or like
totally.
a Hong Kong macaroni soup, which is a dish I grew up with.
Yeah.
It's usually got Spam in there. So
it's very, very cool that you are so articulate about this vegetarian point of view, but people don't quite know that you're there. You're not advertising it in a way. It's cool.
It's something that came about, I think, very early on in my career, because I remember my first book, Community, that was originally self-published, and then a publisher just kind of found it and called me and said, we're going to publish this. Is that okay? And I said, yeah, cool. But can you make sure it's not on the vegetarian shelf? I don't really even know what was driving it at the time, but I knew nothing about publishing then. But I knew that I wanted my work to be open to more people. And as soon as you mention the word vegetarian or vegan, people automatically think this is not for me, or this is about less.
Yeah.
And I think for me, vegetarian food has always been about more. You know, there's more flavor, more texture, more thought, more consideration, all those aspects. So for me, that's what the brand of vegetarian food I'm bringing to the world is really not about what you're missing out, but what you're gaining.
So smart and wise of you to not be shoved in that vegetarian section of the bookstore.
Right.
And speaking of your publishing history, I think Linger is first just a terrific book. It's very fresh and original.
Thank you.
Photography point of view. And we're going to go over a bunch of recipes that super speak to me. But I feel like this is a book that it couldn't be written by a first-time author. You really needed that experience because of the way you did it. And you write in the introduction about how it's based on dinner parties that you're throwing and gatherings that you're throwing at your home and around America and the world, and how you wrote it and photographed it in real time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you had a big outline and you were like,
yeah,
these are the best books when you can do things and you have the trust of the publisher to actually make books that are adventurous and a little off book, so to speak. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, I mean, this really just felt like a personal project. I started writing the book in 2023, so it was one calendar year of writing and cooking. And I remember I had the idea in December 2022 where I just felt like there was something missing for me. Like there was something missing in my life. I was missing and I realized it was eating with people because we're just coming out of the pandemic. We're coming out of forced separation. And then I realized I'd never had friends to my house, the new place where I had moved during COVID for any meal. So I thought, okay, from next month, I'm going to start inviting people every month. I'm going to come up, what's the meal that I feel most comfortable serving? And it's always salad. And so I just had a group of people over in January. It was 2 days before the Lunar New Year. So I had a few kind of New Year inspired recipes. You know, nothing's traditional in my book. But there were a few. And then we ate, and it was just, we knew immediately this is a transformative experience.
Yeah.
This is something we all need. And it spurred me on for the rest of the year. So every month I had people over. I cooked kind of seasonally, just whatever vegetables I saw that looked good, and also what I was craving. The recipes are pretty simple. A lot of it's just prep ahead. But every month it would be like, 8, 9 salads and some sort of basic dessert. And it was an incredible year. So it was all written in real time.
Yeah.
The recipes were like basically tested in real time because people were eating it.
You got instant feedback.
Yeah, I love it. So, like normally writing a cookbook is really lonely, but this felt really collaborative and very community oriented. So it was incredible. I would photograph all the dishes right before people arrived, so I wasn't photographing during the lunch because I wanted to be very present. I mean, this book and these menus and these lunches are about being present. It's not about having a dinner party and being stuck in the kitchen with your apron on, warming up whatever in the oven. I was at the table as much as anybody else was. And that was really important to me. I wanted to be a participant in these lunches too.
And as you write, salad is the perfect format for that because of the make-ahead nature of it and all that.
Room temperature.
This episode is brought to you by Our Place. Are you still using that set of pots and pans bought on sale at Bed Bath & Beyond during the first Obama administration? It might be time for an upgrade. I recently went on a search for the perfect sauté pan and landed on the Our Place website. I liked how their cookware looked, minimal and functional, with a color palette that matched my own aesthetic. And I really liked that they make better kitchen products that are simply better for you. Our Place makes high-performance, toxin-free cookware. It's that simple. Their products are made without forever chemicals like PFAS and PTFEs. I had to Google that, and man, that stuff is nasty. So you can cook confidently without wondering what's in your pan. Stop cooking with toxic cookware and upgrade to Our Place today. Visit FromOurPlace.com/taste and use code TASTE for 10% off site-wide. With a 100-day risk-free trial, free shipping and returns, you can experience this game-changing cookware with zero risk. That's FromOurPlace.com/taste and use code TASTE for 10% off site-wide. This episode is brought to you by Tempo. Now, we are all really busy this time of year, and cooking sometimes is not an option, though we crave a healthy, creative, home-cooked meal that an Uber Eats delivery or slice of pizza isn't going to satisfy. Tempo is a smart solution. Creative and always interesting, arriving at your door, perfectly portioned for lunch and dinner and ready to eat in 2 minutes. Now, I recently gave Tempo a try and I was super impressed. It's great. The pork chop and green beans with roasted garlic potatoes was exactly what I wanted after a busy day. And the grilled chicken with apricot barbecue sauce, man, that sauce was tangy and it gave me all the lean protein I was wanting after a crazy day of podcast recording. With 20 meals available for delivery each week, mealtime is never boring. And for those macro counters out there, Tempo is a smart option. For a limited time, Tempo is offering This Is Taste listeners something pretty amazing. 60% off your first box. That's 60%, which is pretty close to free. Visit tempocooking.com/taste for 60% off your first box. tempocooking.com/taste. Rules and restrictions may apply. We talk about health a lot on the show. Protein maxing is all the rage. We're on the NA beer train, of course. And probiotic sodas, some call those millennial Metamucil. But I want to talk about skin health for a second. Everybody should be thinking about skin health. It's important, and I look to OneSkin, the world's first skin longevity company, for a little help. Now, I've used OneSkin's OS1 hydrating sunscreen for walking around New York City in the blazing sun.
Producer Clayton chiming in. Matt and I used OneSkin during the recent bakery half marathon we participated in. It was a lot of running, a lot of pastries, and a whole lot of sun. Our stomachs might have taken a hit, but our skin was protected with OneSkin.
By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. For a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using promo code TASTEPOD at oneskin.co. That's 15% off using code TASTEPOD. So let's talk about salads. I think there are a lot of perceptions about what a salad is. I think the leafy green emoji is probably what we think a salad is.
Oh, yeah.
But of course it's not. And I love that you offer some real salad rules. I think they're very helpful. And I want to go over a few just off the jump. First off, this is great. Salad can be anything.
Can be anything. I mean, I think over the last decade, I've proven it can be absolutely anything. But really, I really love like taking a dish that you like, familiar flavors that might be comforting to you, and turning that into a salad. Mm-hmm. So, there's a ramen salad in here that's based on a dan salad. I mean, I think a salad is essentially a layered dish with a few different ingredients and a dressing.
Yeah.
And served at room temperature. Not all. There are exceptions to the room temperature rule. Usually if it's got soba noodles. I quite like soba noodles cold.
Yeah.
But usually at room temperature.
Yeah. And I think the room temperature part of it can be challenging for dinner parties particularly because we fight the soggy nature of the salad. How do you think about keeping salads fresh and not droopy?
Yeah. So there's not a lot of like leaves in my salads.
Yeah.
They kind of use leaves. I use leaves as kind of like the fresh and light element, but they're never the base. But what I usually do is I'll pre-prep all the different elements. And a little trick I talk about in the book is actually layering the salad. So having the dressing, I do this a lot. This is such a time saver. So you have a big bowl, you have the dressing at the bottom, and then you layer it up like with the hardiest ingredient at the bottom. So whether that's a grain or the roasted vegetable. And then you kind of work your way up to the most delicate, whether that's the herbs or the leaf at the top. And then you just leave it there. And that can sit there for a bit. Yeah. And then you just toss it when just before people arrive.
We forget about that all the time. Thank you for clarifying because you don't have to toss it ahead of time.
You don't.
You really don't have to do that. I love this rule. You think about fruit as a vegetable. Explain.
I really kind of lent into that here because early in my career, I used to have a salad business.
Yeah, I know.
And I was very reticent about using fruit. I was like of the ilk. I can't deal with fruit in my savory salads. But this time I don't know why. I think it was because it was more I would go to the store or the market and see what I liked and like, those peaches look good. I'm going to go with that. So it really opens up your world of salad making when you start thinking about fruit as a savory salad ingredient, not a sweet salad, but a savory ingredient. Yeah. There's really cool uses in this book. Like there's a stuffing salad that has roasted apples in there. There's a peaches and cream that has like yogurt with grilled peaches and then chili crisp. So it's definitely savory.
Amazing.
But
combination there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like fruit adds this juiciness and like a muted sweetness that's actually quite nice in a salad.
Completely, like fruit, it doesn't have to be over the top sweet.
Yeah,
it's really is a great way to with cream and crunch and chili. It's a beautiful combination.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some recipes in the book. One that really jumped out right away was this hot and sour potato salad.
Yeah.
Just like that just jumps off the page to me. It's like speaking to me. Tell us a little bit about it.
I mean, it's not the type of potato salad. I mean, potato salad is probably one of the most top 3 famous salads in the world. This is not what you're going to expect. It's actually shredded potatoes, made like Sichuan stir fry with Sichuan peppercorns and black vinegar. And the potatoes are just stir fried until just before they're actually tender. So this is going to be an interesting texture to a lot of people because I think potatoes is one of those ingredients that people feel like they have to really cook well. But this, you want a bit of crispness to it. Yeah. So they're stir-fried and then it's added with fresh cucumbers.
I love that. So are you doing anything with the potatoes or is it straight raw shoestring?
No, I mean, I will rinse them in a little bit of water to get rid of the starchiness.
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
Right, yeah, you get rid of the starchiness and then stir frying it.
Yeah.
So it just comes
the
together.
liquid doesn't come into play too much from the potatoes.
No, not at all.
Love that because it can cook off in that high heat, so you don't have to deal with any kind of that sogginess.
So with that particular salad, I'm bringing in some of my Chinese background.
Yeah.
Like if I can do something in a wok, I will.
Yeah.
There's also like a kung pao cabbage salad that is also made in a wok.
Yeah.
But I really want to kind of diversify how people think you make a salad too.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of similarities with your cooking to the Korean panchan.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a lot of it, those are really salads, especially namul, the seasoned vegetables, and it's pure savory, and you can eat a lot of it.
Yes,
it can be a meal. Panchan can be a meal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I think we've been eating salad if you enjoy Korean food forever. It's I love that salad can be anything. I mean, I think you're really reinforcing that.
Yeah.
I also love how you think about the whole roasted cauliflower with mountains of dill. Aggie's counter in Brooklyn is an inspiration, and like vegetable cookbooks have whole head cauliflower dishes. Like they're
it's been done.
Everyone has one.
Yeah.
How did you want to rethink the whole head of cauliflower?
So this one's based on a deviled egg recipe that's at Aggie's counter. It's called the green eggs, and it's the only thing I ever eat there because I love it so much. I'm quite greedy about it. I just want that egg in front of me. So it's just basically a deviled egg that has a heap of dill on it and this kind of dill oil. So I took that idea. Thank you, Aggie's counter.
Yep. Good spot.
and I applied it to a whole head of cauliflower. And I love a whole head of cauliflower because it brings a bit of drama to the table. Like people to see the whole vegetable like that, cooked that way. I love what it does in the oven too. Like I actually cook it with almost no preparation. There's no foil needed. None,
nice.
Like I don't pre-boil it because I actually love how dark it gets on the outside. And I think with vegetables, or probably also with meat too, but any color you see on vegetables is flavor. So the darker it is on the outside, and then it comes out, I put like this tahini on it, this dill oil, which is probably the most elaborate thing.
Chefy.
We'll
call it chefy, yeah.
Yeah, I do mention it's probably the chefiest thing I've done, and you can not do it if you don't want to. But it's kind of fun. And what I do when I usually serve that is I do it all on the table. So, you're pouring the literally mountain of dill.
The tableside mountain of dill service.
Exactly, the mountain of dill. And then someone carves it. And it's a lovely moment at the table.
I love that small twist that does so much more to the whole head that we've all done. And totally agree that you want to go dark with your vegetables in many ways. It is flavor. Wow, this recipe really stuck out. The black sesame tofu Basque cheesecake. I mean, fully original, epic. I want to make it. How did you think about the Basque cheesecake, which we see everywhere, right? And think about it in this very unique way.
Well, I've actually never made an actual Basque cheesecake before.
No way. Okay.
I'm not so good with a lot of dairy. So, many Chinese people are lactose intolerant. And I don't know, in my older age, I just don't deal with dairy that well anymore. So I thought, I want to make something that's vegan, that is based with silken tofu. What I love about a Basque cheesecake, I love the visual of it. And because it's kind of messy looking, like around the edges, it can be very rustic. And so I wanted to create it. And also it's great in the fridge overnight. It's a dessert the thing about my desserts is I don't see myself as a really big dessert maker. I'm not a huge sweet person. I don't eat that many sweets.
I noticed that in the book too. You can kind of see that. You don't have these over-the-top sweet
No, because I don't know how to make them, or I don't want to make them.
No, you don't want to make them.
I don't want to make them.
You could probably make them. I bet you could make them. You got skills.
Yeah, so I think I like to have some sweet element, but I don't want it to be like something I've labored over for many hours. So this is basically, silken tofu in a blender with some black sesame, which is my favorite dessert flavor. If I had to eat dessert, it's going to be black sesame.
Oh, me too. It's amazing.
And then you just blend it up, pour it in, done. And you can even burn it, and that's,
Well, you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit.
you want to burn it. So it's a really popular. I serve it a lot at my community lunches that I do, and it's very popular.
I'm gonna pivot to that. I've been making Eric Kim's black sesame mochi like for a lot of dinner parties. It's one of my favorite recipes that he's done it from his
is that like
Korean
a cake?
American, cake.
Oh, I haven't done that one.
It's really great and easy to make, and I think I might pivot to this silken tofu boss cheesecake because it sounds perfect for a dinner party. It's not too complicated.
Exactly. I think that's the key, like a dessert that can be pre-made and actually does better in the fridge overnight.
Yeah.
So that's the key for a lot of these desserts.
You finally have cracked the Vegemite code. You write about it. You've written several books. Maybe haven't touched Vegemite.
I have once before.
You have once
before. Into Asia with Love, I did noodles.
You did Vegemite noodles. Yeah. You write colorfully about this important Australian product and polarizing to some. I love it. It's delicious.
Do you like it?
I do.
Oh, I was almost going to make you the salad, and I was like, Matt might not like Vegemite.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I like tenjin a lot.
Yeah.
And there's like similarities
in
some ways. I really do like it personally. But I like it with butter.
Oh, it has to be with butter.
Okay, good. I'm glad you
I mean,
co-signed.
that's the key. I mean, I think when you see all these people on TikTok trying Vegemite and they're like eating it from nobody does that. That's just not how you eat.
Eating it from the jar?
Nobody does that. That's not how you eat it.
Great.
So
not great.
I've actually wanted to do this salad since I had the business, in Sydney, like in 2000 and back in the early 2010s. And I never could figure out how to do it. And I really thought it would be a Vegemite and cheese salad because that's one of my favorite sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's a thing that's really done there. I thought it would be like Vegemite cheese croutons used in some way.
Smart. I like it. I mean, those would be like really, really flavor-packed croutons.
Yummy, like umami croutons.
Umami croutons, exactly.
But this time it came by accident because I have like Vegemite cravings. Every now and then I need that hit of whatever, like yeasty saltiness.
Yep.
So I was making crispy chickpeas one night and I just some reason got out the Vegemite and added it to the chickpeas and chucked them in the oven and they came out so good. So the whole salad was really kind of put together based on those crispy Vegemite chickpeas. And then just to, reinforce the Vegemite-ness of the salad, I've made a Vegemite vinaigrette. So this is probably not for a lot of Americans, but,
I would say if you like umami-rich foods and you like salt, which I think is a lot of people, I think you maybe want to try it. So it's a time-old question, but like, how do you keep your chickpeas crisp and crispy? And that I feel like we're always trying to achieve that in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, these ones don't. I mean, a little trick I did in my last book was I tossed them in chickpea flour.
Yeah.
And that kind of adds that extra layer.
Completely.
But these ones is like, if you're going to toss it, just put them on the top and toss them at the end. But, high temperature as always, and quite a bit of oil.
You can't be lax with the oil. It's
or butter.
Or butter or just something to keep the crisp.
It does need it.
Needs it. That's what the pros do in the restaurants. And if you want it at home, you got to add some.
You got to add the fat.
Tell me about the falafel in spirit salad. I love this idea, the deconstructed falafel. We love those flavors, but sometimes you don't want to make the balls. It's a little too much for some, maybe too much carb, and you figured out a way to make it a salad.
I mean, that was exactly where it came from. I was thinking about the falafel, thinking about what a great almost like a gyro roll, all that freshness. You've got these balls of fried balls, but then you've got the freshness of the vegetables in there and the tahini. And I was like, how can I turn that into a salad? But I didn't really want to be deep frying falafels.
That's it. The deep frying step is really the barrier for a lot of folks.
Yeah, it is. It's not very like weekday friendly either. So what I did was I made like a chickpea mixture and I added like all the herbs and the spices. And then I just whacked the whole thing in a fry pan or a skillet. You call them skillets here. I whacked the whole thing in a skillet and I just kind of fried it like a big patty.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to hold together. So when it's in the skillet, it's like a patty. You press it down so you get nice little burnt bits on there. And then you kind of flip it like you kind of keep flipping it
Yeah.
until you get lots of little burnt bits with non-burnt bits. And then you just toss that with cucumbers and tomatoes and herbs with the tahini dressing. And it really tastes like a falafel.
That's exactly right. I mean, and when you eat a falafel, usually the last bites are kind of that format. It's like a little bit of falafel, a lot of vegetable.
Yeah, it's very satisfying.
Very cool idea. And I think it's cool to not have to be married to like a structure where you can crumble it up and have that mixed with the veg.
Yeah.
Very smart. What's the vinaigrette on that one?
It's just a tahini dressing.
Oh, it's a tahini, right?
Yeah.
It's tahini. That's smart. I like that. Back to cauliflower. Doing a cauliflower larb is really, really fresh to me. I haven't seen that. And channeling Thailand and thinking about those flavors.
Yeah.
How did you come to this recipe?
Well, I've done a couple of larb recipes before. I've done a tofu larb.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
On the New York Times, and personally for myself, I do like a mushroom larb. But I thought, I was thinking cauliflower that month. I mean, a lot of it's just like, what am I craving? I'm craving cauliflower, and I remember that particular recipe came about because I had these beautiful shiso leaves and perilla leaves that I'd picked up from the market. So I was like, I want to really use these in a recipe. So in the book, there's this beautiful platter laid out with like lettuce and all these beautiful leaves. And then, a bowl of this cauliflower larb. And I love meals like that where you can put things together. I actually love things wrapped in lettuce.
Me too.
I think everything is better wrapped in lettuce.
It's amazing, especially if it's a central, like a lob or some kind of dip or spread that is so strong you can't have it on its own.
Yeah. So you could have it with rice, but I actually love it with just the lettuce.
Lettuce wraps and having shiso or perilla.
Like these kind of fragrant leaves. I mean, I grew these leaves, actually. I had a community garden in Sydney.
Oh, fun.
And they're like weeds. So we just grew them. So for me, they're like very nostalgic kind of flavors.
Speaking of New York Times, you contribute quite a bit for the publication. And, you had a recipe. I would say it went viral in the best way. And it was very smart. It was a tomato dumpling salad. I want to first ask, what's it like writing for the New York Times and doing videos too? You do plenty of videos for the YouTube and really having your work really like there for judgment, for collaboration. Is it unnerving to you a bit?
I don't read the comments much anymore. Like
Very
I used to. I made the mistake of doing that. My first recipe for them was something I was very proud of. It was a recipe called suk mei fan, which translates to cream corn with rice. Yeah. And it was a dish I grew up with, but obviously I served it with silken tofu. And there was a lot of chatter about how this was not a Cantonese dish or they'd never seen it before. And it's like, well, food is very regional in China. And, my mum grew up in different areas and lived in Hong Kong and all this stuff. So, but it was so I thought from that moment when I read those comments, I was like, this is so crazy that people are telling me this is not a dish that I grew up with. So I learnt to not read the comments. Every now and then I'll like pop in just to see what people are going on about. But generally I try not to read it. And I say it to my other, peers who are also contributors. Yeah. Sometimes I see them and they're like, panicking about something someone has written. But I have full confidence in these recipes, Matt, because they're so well tested. Yeah. They're tested, but there's a rigorous testing process with getting a recipe to print. So I know that my recipes are rock solid by the time they hit, by the time they're published. And it's really cool to publish to such a wider audience. I mean, the work that I do at the Times is slightly different to the work that I do personally because it's, obviously when I write for my newsletter or for my books, it's a little world that I enter into, but the Times is a bigger world. So, I mean, doing something like the dumpling salad, for example. I mean, that was not my first dumpling salad. There was one in my book, To Asia with Love. To me, I always saw that dumpling salad as kind of the culinary personification of who I am. Yeah. As a Chinese person who somehow specializes in making salads. But to see that salad kind of take off and like become this other thing, and a lot of the time it wasn't even like people didn't even credit me for it. When this became like this viral dish on TikTok, nobody was crediting me or the New York Times. They were it was just their invention. I kind of took offense to it because it's that's my personal salad.
Are you going to jump into the comments? Once in a while?
Actually, a lot of friends did it and my kids did it.
I love
So my
your
friends
kids.
would see like these people in Europe cooking it and they'll be like, that's Hetty McKinnon's recipe. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, you can. I don't personally, I mean.
You're above that.
Yeah, I mean.
Float above that.
The thing is that salad's been around for a few years now. But it keeps having like every summer it has these new legs.
Well, it's a beautiful salad. I mean, it's basically taking tomatoes and putting a really nice vinaigrette and then doing steamed dumplings.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is marrying the two and having the heat component of the steamed dumplings hit the tomatoes with the tossing of the dumplings. It does something.
It does. And the vinaigrette's a chili crisp vinaigrette.
Oh, that's right.
And a lot of people have said, they just use that on everything now. So I think that salad is basically showing anything can be a salad.
It really is. Your thesis is strong.
Yeah. And a lot of people come to that salad with a lot of skepticism. And they've told me, even friends have said, oh, I was really skeptical. But hey, my mum loved it. My Chinese mum loved it and things like that. So
I mean, you could
cool.
eat that for lunch for a week.
Yes.
I mean, because you have like a big bag of frozen dumplings and tomatoes are everywhere, for many months of the year, even in the wintertime.
I did a winter version on my newsletter.
How do you think about winter tomatoes in the Northeast?
There is a essay in the book that's about, is it a rebellion to eat tomatoes in the winter?
I remember this.
Yeah.
Your essay writing is amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Don't want to bury that. You're just natural writer.
Thank you.
Natural writer.
Yeah. I have pretty strong views about kind of snobbery around how to eat vegetables. You know, like I grew up, my dad worked at the markets. That was what my last book was about. And so I grew up around wonderful vegetables all year round, very hyper seasonal. But then when he passed away, I sort of like a different side of like just going to your local store and picking up 3 cucumbers. And like we'd never shopped that way in our house. So I think that accessibility is, if you have accessibility to, green markets and fresh, hyper-seasonal vegetables, that's great, but not everybody does. And I don't think that should stop you from eating vegetables. So I'm like, if you really crave a tomato, so this is a question I'm also asked a lot in the winter, how do I keep winter eating exciting? And I'm like, bake some, put some tomatoes in the oven. Yeah. Supermarket tomatoes that are like past their prime, that they're not going to have a lot of flavor when you eat them fresh. But if you put those in a slow roast them in an oven with some garlic and some herbs, it's going to be so beautiful. Your house is going to feel warm. You're going to have a beautiful aroma. And that's going to be a really lovely meal. So
yeah, I love that sentiment. I think it's so true. We like to talk about on the show a lot. Like, we have a lot of strong opinions about food and we may be snobby about some things. But when it comes to accessibility to produce, it's important to not be a snob. And you're a leader in the industry. To say that is super important, that you don't have to have the perfect tomato to cook with it.
Exactly. And I think that there's a lot of guilt around like, where do you shop for your vegetables? And people don't always, like, we're in the food industry, so we're in a bubble and we have access to, we know where to go, but there's a lot of people who don't know. And so they feel like guilty about where they're shopping. It's like, who cares? Go to your local supermarket.
Go to Key Food and buy that tomato.
Oh, damn. I shop at Key Foods all the time. It's fine. Just buy the tomato. Go to your get frozen vegetables.
Very much so.
Peas are awesome, frozen spinach. But just eat your vegetables.
I mean, eat your vegetables. Last recipe I want to talk about is a cool one. And I can imagine it's pretty tricky to figure it out. The French onion soup salad. Because the French onion soup is so iconic. And to divorce it from the liquid form with that crown of Gruyere, and like to think of it in salad format is almost contradictory, but you've done it. Yeah,
I've done it a lot to many soups.
Yeah.
I did it in my first book. I did a borscht salad. I've done it to potato and leek, and French onion was waiting for me to.
Yeah, French onion is waiting. Those two are those are cool, and I could see right away, but like French onion, I was kind of like, whoa, what are you doing here?
So what I wanted to do was actually put onions front and center in a salad. So I was thinking, this is a vegetable that everybody has, like, and probably lots of in their pantry, and how can I center that as a ingredient. So I was thinking French onion, you use a lot of it. I roast it at high temperature. And when it comes out, I put like balsamic vinegar and soy sauce to almost deglaze the sheet pan.
Yes.
And then I add it to quinoa and have like arugula in there, and so there's lots of texture. It's highly savory, that salad.
Yeah.
And, maybe it doesn't have those. I kind of resisted the croutons.
Well, you already have the quinoa there, so it'd be a little bit much.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you don't really do a lot of bread salads either.
I used to. But I'm also like a little bit gluten intolerant. Yeah. Something else I've discovered. So my food is incredibly friendly to people who might be gluten-free.
Yeah, exactly.
I use soy sauce, but I actually in my daily life use tamari or gluten-free variety. And in my first book, there's lots of croutons.
Yeah.
But I've kind of steered away from the croutons now.
It's fun to see that evolution for you as just your own eating habits, like kind of.
Yeah.
It's the flow of the book is like your story.
Yeah. Basically, like you can see the way my tastes have evolved from my first book to this one. But I think that should be always the way, right? Like people talk a lot about their first book being their best book. And my first book is like this cult classic in Australia. So like it was very hard to follow up almost. But I feel when people say, what's your best book? And I was like, your latest book should always be your best book because you've
100% agree.
You've written, you've grown as a writer, you've grown as a recipe developer. Like I know I'm a better recipe developer than I was 10 years ago. So this should be my best book.
I see that in Alison Roman's fourth book, which is coming out in November.
Right,
it's a really cool evolution for her.
Yeah.
And like yourself, this long publishing history shows this evolution, and I feel like this is your best book.
Thank you.
It's really, really special. I want to talk about the playlist just a little bit. I was messaging with you last night when I was actually hit the QR codes, which I don't do a lot in cookbooks because honestly, controversial as it may be, sometimes those playlists are such throwaways and they're not really good.
I agree.
Bryant Terry is the exception. Bryant Terry has incredible playlists in his book, so Bryant does an amazing job. But you had, I love XTC, one of my favorite bands, and you had on there this like the deepest cut, Rhodes Gertie the Globe. Is like not one of their big songs or even one of the best songs on Drums and Wires, but it's in there. And then I'm like loving the playlist.
Oh,
Tell me about.
I'm so happy you're liking because I feel like you're a music fan.
I love music.
Yeah. I'm not going to take credit for these playlists.
Okay, that's right.
This is my daughter's doing.
Okay.
So there was originally a different playlist that was just a linger playlist. And it was just basically all my favorite songs, like a lot of, 80s Britpop.
Really? I mean, like what?
A lot of George Michael.
George Michael, Erasure, Depeche.
All that stuff, Pet Shop Boys.
Pet Shop Boys. I mean, I kind of like this playlist, to be honest.
I'll share it with you. But then I thought, you know what? Maybe there's something cool I could do with my daughter. My daughter's 19.
Yeah.
She's really into music. She's actually studying music. She's a musician herself. So, and she has this like knowledge of music that is so crazy to me because it's intergenerational. It's she loves the Beach Boys. She loves Paul McCartney. She loves it crosses a lot of boundaries. And she has a music education, so she loves classical music and jazz. And I was saying to you last night, this could be the only playlist where XTC goes into Sam Cooke.
Yeah, I know, and I love that.
Yeah.
And you picked good Sam Cooke songs too.
They're really cool playlists that I've actually learned a lot from.
Yeah.
I only had a few suggestions.
Okay, some notes.
Yep, some notes.
Did you drop any songs?
I asked for one to be switched. I can't remember which one. I wanted the Rufus Wainwright song in there, Going to a Town.
Going to a Town is such a beautiful song.
Yeah, and it ends. So the way she did the playlist is they all have stories. There's a lot of light and shade in them. There's smaller moments, quieter moments leading into big moments. So she really kind of thinks about these playlists a lot. She makes a lot for herself. Ezra Furman is going to be wondering why she's getting so many listens because that's Scout's favorite artist.
I love that you have some smaller artists in there. And you have it at the beginning of every chapter. And again, love the music.
Yeah.
And shout out to your daughter for having great taste.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love that. So, Hetty, where are you traveling next? Because I think your books and your writing is very informed by travel. You have like such a great way of writing about cuisines around the world through travel, through, of course, being born in Australia and living in the United States. You have that point of view as well. It's not easy to represent a culture with a recipe, but I think you do it very honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I try and do that. So thank you for saying that. Like,
true.
I think the head notes, I really try and show where recipes from and where I'm inspired from. I have traveled a bit. I mean, I used to live in London, so I did a lot of travel, European travel in my 20s when I lived there. So, but where I'm traveling next is actually Australia. I'm going there for Christmas. I'm going back to Sydney.
Nice.
My first Australian Christmas for over a decade.
No way. So you're not on the yearly visit.
We usually
track.
go. We go every couple of years. Usually in the 10 years that we've lived here.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yes, it is.
And we usually go for like a longer time.
Yeah.
So we go during their winter.
Yeah.
Which is our summer here. I was just there recently for the Australian leg of the Linger book tour, and it was so beautiful. Their winter is crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's so warm.
Yeah, I mean, I visited in January once, and that was
hot.
That was hot. It was nice though.
Yeah,
I gotta get back there. So that'll be nice. What is a Christmas tradition for you?
Pavlova.
Yeah, of course.
And lots of salads. And my husband, I will go this year because I haven't done it for a long time, but he usually goes to the Sydney fish markets at midnight.
Yeah.
Because it's open 24 hours at Christmas time. Because seafood is a big thing for Australian Christmases.
Oh, yeah.
I don't eat the seafood, but he will go. He's already planning on it. So the kids will probably all go as a fun thing to do.
Did you go to Golden Century? The yum cha there was like truly the best I've ever had.
Yeah, it's Sydney yum cha is something very special, and it's always my first meal off the plane.
It's something special there. This episode is brought to you by Grow Therapy. Have you ever tried to Google therapist near me? Just the act of typing those words in a browser can be so stressful on its own. I once went on a hunt for a therapist and found myself with a dozen tabs open with LinkedIn profiles and Instagram accounts of people I just didn't want to know. Grow Therapy makes it way less overwhelming and way more affordable. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits your needs. They connect you with thousands of independent, licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. It's that easy. And you can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your own time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0, depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/taste today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/taste. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan. Hetty, on This Is Taste, we ask guests about their certain taste. So to close this interview, here's a rapid fire, fast and furious taste check. Are you ready?
Okay, I think I'm ready.
You think you're ready?
Yeah.
The best fruit.
Okay, bananas.
Okay.
I'm a daughter of a banana monk, I have to say that.
Yeah, you have to say that. How do you like to eat a banana?
I peel it and eat it. I also put it in my smoothie. And I really, what?
I mean, it was the most ridiculous follow-up question, so I take full credit for that.
No, people have opinions about how they eat their bananas.
No, I know. I was kind of trying to go there, and you said
okay.
you said some things.
I peel it and eat it, yeah.
The worst vegetable.
I hate this question so much.
We
how
ask
do I
everybody.
Answer that?
People answer it very willingly. Willingly.
I like all vegetables, but, I was thinking like one of the root vegetables, maybe parsnip. Not that exciting to me, but I feel bad about saying it.
You know what? We had a reel go viral with that response. Like we had a lot of comments.
Over what? Parsnip?
There was a large contingency of parsnip love. in the
There
world.
always is, though.
I don't see it.
Do you like parsnip?
Hell no.
It's not the most exciting root
It's
vegetable.
vegetal, and like when the best way of serve a parsnip is with butter and cream in the puree that we're
Yeah.
so common.
I mean, so is there an acceptable answer to this? I mean, I love all vegetables, so I'm going to
Yes,
be
you do.
honest, but I'm disturbed by this. But anyway,
I appreciate your honesty. What is your typical breakfast?
2 cups of black coffee made in my Mocha Master.
Oh, I love the Mocha Pod.
Oh.
Mocha Master, sorry. I love the Mocha Master. It is the superior brewer.
It is.
What's the coffee choice right now?
Oh, it's a Costa Rica coffee. I can't remember the brand, but I always buy the same one.
Buy the same one?
Yeah.
And that's it? Just
Yeah.
coffee?
When I travel, I pine for that cup of coffee. And actually in Australia, a lot of the cafes now serve coffee made in a Mocha Master.
Yeah.
They call it a batch brew and it costs $6.
Yeah. And I like it.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I like a $6 cup of coffee. Yeah. You can go back to several hours of me saying that on this podcast. I think that's beautiful. Here's the thing about travel. You can make that cup of coffee in your hotel room.
Oh, what do you use? I've always wondered
Collapsible cone,
Oh, yeah, okay.
a filter, pre-ground coffee, and a hot water source like a kettle.
Okay,
You can do it. I mean, you can have that coffee in your home.
it's true. But then I have nothing to whine about.
It's true. And finding coffee without coffee in your body is such a joy about travel.
Yeah.
Isn't that so fun?
Man, Sydney has great coffee. It's insanely good.
Really is true. And it's not just a flat white. Let's move
Yeah.
on from that one.
Yeah.
Great roasting, incredible culture. They really, the Australians, you really pioneered cafe culture.
They really take things very seriously there, but for a good reason, because it's excellent.
It's excellent. The best dessert.
Pavlova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia Day, end of Jan.
My favorite.
Beautiful, beautiful dessert.
Yeah. Can make it with my eyes closed. It's great. And I have cans of passion fruit in my pantry that I bring over from Australia.
Nice.
Because to me, there's no pavlova without passion fruit.
I love that combination. I don't think I've had one with passion fruit. So
Oh, it's essential. You haven't had an Australian pavlova
yeah,
then?
maybe I have, but I thought of it as more strawberry. It might confuse me.
You can have strawberry on it, but you got to have the passion fruit over the top.
You got to have passion fruit.
Yeah, so you have the fruit and then you pour the passion fruit pulp over the top.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Is there a restaurant you wish you could bring back from the dead?
Oh, this one's kind of recent, but R&D.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know R&D in Prospect Heights? Just closed.
I was going to say, I thought they were open.
Just closed a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
breaking news here.
They had this sandwich that was my absolute favorite. Kale salad sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very sad. But I think Gertie's has taken it over.
Okay, cool.
I haven't been yet. I don't think that has reopened yet.
Maybe they can do an homage and bring the kale
I think they are
salads
doing an homage.
sandwich
So,
back.
yeah, we're going to have to go try.
When you're craving fast food, where are you going?
Probably Shake Shack, shroom burger.
It's good.
I could also say McDonald's French fries dipped in a sundae, but they don't have a veggie burger.
Mm-hmm.
So
they need to have one.
McDonald's needs to have a veggie burger.
Mm.
You know, I had In-N-Out animal style grilled cheese, and I have to say it was so damn good.
Oh, amazing. I thought you were going to go the other direction.
No, it was incredible, and their fries are incredible. Well done. You know the whole In-N-Out thing where you have to know all the different words to use to get
codes,
the good stuff.
The winks, all that stuff, yeah.
It is. We had a whole discourse in our family about whether it was as good as Shake Shack. For me, I like that better, but I can't get it. Unless I'm in California.
If you're in Cali, I was a vegetarian for like 4 years. I used to do Whopper, no meat.
Oh, yeah, I did that when I was young.
Whopper, no meat it always kind of hit for me.
Yeah, when I was a young 20s.
Yeah.
McDonald's, no meat. Yeah, that
But they always charge you the full price, which I always
Exactly.
felt that was like not cool, guys.
I want something more thoughtful than Big Mac, no meat.
It feels like there's a collaboration in your future.
Come on then, McDonald's.
Come on, McDonald's, step up. We're very pro McDonald's on the show. So
Yeah, I've heard.
yeah,
I've heard.
Yeah, we are. I love.
I was so surprised to hear this.
I live my truth. I mean, I think that for that price and it's good. It's delicious. Don't eat it all the time. Can't do
Right.
that.
I have nothing against McDonald's but there's no veggie burger.
No, there's no veggie burger, and there needs to be a collab with Hetty. Corporate folks listening, let's make that happen. Your favorite city outside America to visit for food?
Tokyo.
Yeah.
I've never been to Seoul, or that's very high on my list of places to go because I think I would like it a lot.
I think you would too.
But Tokyo is mind-blowing. I've been there twice in the last few years.
You know, Korea is really seeing a boom in plant-based.
Yeah, I heard
Incredible.
this.
I mean, it's not just the obviously the Buddhist cuisine and the long tradition there, very important to culture there, but in fast casual, in a lot of restaurants, it's they have whole guides to it. It's very cool.
Wow, yeah. I'm so super excited to do that.
Yeah, very cool.
I think Tokyo's sick of Australian visitors.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of visitors from America there as well. I think it's a pretty visited place. Mm-hmm. That's another podcast. We can talk about tourism and responsible tourism.
Yeah, that's true.
Go in the fall or winter to Seoul. Summers are tough.
Yes, that's true.
Summers are tough. Last one, your favorite sandwich.
Well, you know, I already mentioned the kale salad sandwich, but I do have another favorite, which is the vegetarian from Court Street Grocers.
Court Street.
And there is a vegetarian-inspired salad in this book.
I love that. And I think that is a great choice there. Court Street Grocers, elite. Hetty Lou McKinnon, what a great conversation. Please come back. Thank you so much for joining This Is Taste.
Anytime. See you soon.
Tony Chapman, welcome to This Is Taste. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited to chat. I want to hear all about this. You're doing a McNugget, your own version. I mean...
Exciting, right?
It's beyond exciting. Pro McDonald's podcast first, and two, it's my favorite menu item.
Yeah, I loved McDonald's, and I love chicken nuggets, and I just grew up eating them, and I love making them at home.
Well, that's the teaser, audience, because we'll get to that. But when you're in New York, when you're back home, are there any places you're dining out restaurant-wise?
I have so many chef friends, so I usually let them pick. But I find myself in multicultural communities. So I like to go to Chinatown and eat. I like to go to Little Italy. Yeah. I like to go to the Little Caribbean. I like to eat at the small hole-in-the-wall restaurants. I'm really big on small business, mom and pop shop, hole-in-the-wall takeout. I'll order takeout to my hotel. And then occasionally the fancy restaurant that someone's paying for. But yeah, there's so many special spots.
Tell me about chef. You got some chef friends.
Yeah.
Are there any chefs in New York you want to shout out?
Yeah. I mean, I actually have a lot of industry friends. That's where I draw a lot of my inspiration from. So people that just work in the industry, they work in restaurants, they work on the line, they're deeply passionate about food. And yeah, it also keeps you grounded and helps you stay super obsessed with cooking, which I really love.
For sure. Well, let's go back to growing up in Jersey City. What's food like in your home?
Yeah, Jersey City was really awesome, multicultural, super diverse. Grew up eating a lot of Puerto Rican food. That's my background. I'm Puerto Rican and African American, so grew up with my dad's side of the family. So it was a lot of comforting, soulful kind of Latin dishes. So lots of soups, lots of beans, lots of rice. Imagine if you've ever been to Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or something like that, all of the food that's there, that's what we grew up eating. But yeah, lots of soups. My grandmother loved to make soups, and that's something that I remember eating. And we had 2 dinners, so we'd eat
really?
Yeah.
Double dinner, obviously.
Double dinner. Yeah. Right after school and then around 8:30.
Is there one recipe from childhood that's you just land on that's a memory?
Yeah, my grandmother, whenever we were sick, she would make this soup. I call it kick a cold soup because it was when we were sick, she would make this, or when anyone in the neighborhood was sick. And it has lime, and it has chicken broth, and it has all these secret Puerto Rican spices that really help open up your nasal.
Oh yeah.
But it's really delicious. So I make it even when I'm not sick. That probably stands out the most.
Well, I really like your culinary style. It channels your Afro-Latina heritage, and also it really has a lot of creativity in the way you execute the recipes. You're doing adobo to mac and cheese and cookies and cream tres leches. I mean, it's a really unique blend of cultures. What are you offering fans of yours who know you from online with this cookbook?
Yeah, I think one of the things that is a differentiating factor is that, I do have a lot of all-American recipes with the slight emphasis on my culture, so this twist. So these are dishes that everyone really loves, but they're going to have a little flair to them. I try to make the dishes as broad as possible. So you have things like peach cobbler and cheesecake for desserts and chocolate chip cookies. But then you have classic soups that everyone loves too, a loaded baked potato soup or short ribs. But there's like this little edge that makes the dish not only unique, but like super flavorful. And that usually comes from like my culture and how we cook on both sides. And so I like to like sprinkle a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so it's like really like unique and extravagant and like flavorful.
It's great. Every recipe when I was going through the book, I was like, these are hits. It's like hits only.
You. Yeah.
It's feeling that way.
Yeah, I tried to do that. I tried to like make like popular food favorites,
Yeah.
very viral kind of friendly stuff that you like see online, but like stuff that's also like super approachable that you can make at home.
What was your big social media moment, like your first moment?
Oh my goodness. I think when I started working with Tasty, I was having a lot of moments around that time. Like this was at the height of like Tasty, like kind of transitioning from like long form to digital. So there was a lot of engagement happening. And so they brought me in to like work with them over the course of like a year. And we were doing like this series where I would go into a grocery store with like a limited budget and I would get like really creative. And it was going like crazy viral around that time. It was like post after post, and I was really looking forward to it. And I think it's been like super lovely
To be in the Tasty universe and then expand out to your own platforms is exciting.
Yeah, it has been like really, really exciting.
Very cool.
For sure.
I want to hear about, I've never seen this before. Brilliant idea. Rum and cola wings. Love that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so like growing up, like I think like the quintessential like drink in like the Puerto Rican community is like a rum and Coke, right? Like that's what people like to drink. It's easy and it's like cheap or whatever. And so I think there was like one night where I was like, you know, just making chicken and I wanted to make like a sauce and that's what we were all drinking. And it actually is really nice. Like when you like cook it down, like rum and Coke, it's like really nice and it's like sweet and sticky, but you like taste like the rum. Rum is like obviously really, really popular in Puerto Rico. So I love it. It's like one of my favorite little wing recipes. It's like a nice little party trick too. Because like people are always like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's
What's
cool.
in the sauce? So you're basically reducing down rum and Coke.
Yeah.
And then doing a chicken wing recipe and then doing a combination, like tossing it in there.
Correct. And it has a little bit of brown sugar, you know, a little bit of soy sauce and rice wine vinegar, things like that to kind of like bring out those flavors. But like the base of the sauce is like some rum that we cook down so the alcohol cooks out, of course. And then, cola, Coke.
I love that. Pozole verde. I like that a lot. And when I looked at the photo, man, I wanted to have that in the kitchen. That was a nice recipe. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that one is probably one of my favorite. It's so special. And again, growing up in like this soup kind of like family where soups are really important, like we also really liked green soups because they're like really vibrant and they have a lot of good stuff in them. And it's super flavorful and it's an easy way to like get your greens in. Because my style of cooking is very comforting and wholesome and like gooey, cheesy, like super flavorful. But this is one of those like recipes that you can make and like freeze and like have throughout the summer or the winter. It's so, so flavorful, zesty, comforting. The sour cream is like a nice little touch. It's. I think it's honestly like top 5.
Top 5 in the book. I mean, right away I was like that. Probably one of my top recipes, and I haven't made it, but just the idea of it is you pay tribute to the New York City style chicken wings, but they're not the chicken wings that most people realize. What's the story behind it?
Yeah, definitely. I think I grew up like eating a lot of like Chinese takeout food, right? Like, you know, growing up on the East Coast, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
So we get like chicken wings, pork fried rice, egg rolls, like duck sauce, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I left, I mean, I found that like outside of New York, it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's really not. I mean, you do find little places in like different cities, like that one little place that can like try to replicate it, but it just wasn't the same. So I was like, I want to make some of this stuff at home. So there's like an entire chapter in the cookbook that like has the pork fried rice, the duck sauce, the chicken wings, and all of that. And my editor, Jen, she was like, you know, I grew up, like my family owned a Chinese takeout restaurant and like this is like as close as it gets. Like I was really inspired. She was like, how did you know what we do? And I was like, you know, I have my ways. Like
you have your sources.
I know people who know people. But yeah, I know all the little secrets to get like that extra crunch or like that flavor.
You're talking about Jen Sit, and her family runs a great restaurant in Kingston, New York.
Yes.
I love that Jen edited your book.
Yes, amazing.
She knows. She knows.
She knows, exactly. And so that was like, I was really proud of that because I was like, oh, wow, I'm legit. To get like that stamp of approval
Yeah.
from someone who has done it is just amazing.
Okay, we've reached the moment in the show where we're going to talk about this McNugget. So, like, you have your own version of the McNugget. I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
What are you improving? I'm very curious.
Yeah, they do an amazing job.
Better words, amazing.
Yeah, they do an amazing job. I think, like, chicken nuggets are really good. Like, even if people are like, they have their things about them, McDonald's like does it the best, hands down.
Definitely.
I would definitely say that. I think like what it was is that I started having a lot of friends who were pregnant and they were telling me they were craving McDonald's. But that, their doctors were like, maybe you should stay away from McDonald's or try to make nuggets at home so that you can kind of control what's in them. And so I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can replicate this at home using minimal ingredients. Like it's literally carbonated water, cornstarch, flour, oil, salt, pepper. And then of course the chicken. And it's all about the ratios, but like it's really, really good. And you can like make them, your perfect size.
Yeah.
It's really cool because I like shape them exactly like McNuggets.
Yeah.
You just like form them with your hands. And
We all know
cool.
that shape.
It's so recognizable.
Yeah, we know
and
that
so like
shape.
it's like nostalgia. And like sometimes you want that stuff at home. Like I remember like during COVID or during snowstorms or like sometimes it's like a weekend and you want to do something fun. I think making those like popular food favorites, like those takeout dishes, that's like what I'm like super excited about.
I am absolutely going to try this recipe.
Oh my gosh,
I
you're gonna
can't
love
wait.
it. You're
What's
gonna
the
love it.
dipping sauce of choice?
Honey mustard. We have a whole sauce chapter. So you
Yeah.
can do like honey mustard. You could do like barbecue sauce. There's ranch, of course. Like it really just depends on what you want to do. But I've always been like a honey mustard kind of girl.
Me too. I like
It's
honey.
easy.
Yeah, honey mustard and sweet and sour. Those
Yeah,
are
love sweet and sour.
those are my guys. So I wanted to talk about candied yams. Underrated. Underrated. Like it's truly one of the best desserts around. When it's good, it's good. The balance of acidity and sweetness. The yams just work with that syrupy sauce. Talk about yours.
Yeah, it's like such a really nice holiday side to your point.
Yeah.
And it's like sweet and savory, so it really goes well with like a lot of the other things on the plate for Thanksgiving or during holiday season. So when you're having things like mash or turkey or like, green bean casserole, like the yams is like it cuts it really nice. And yeah, it's like it kind of pays homage to my African American roots. Like my family, that side of my family is originally from Detroit and they migrated there. And so like I learned a lot of like those recipes from them. And it's really just super simple, right? Like it's just the brown sugar, the butter, a little vanilla extract, good vanilla extract, of course, and then like the sweet potatoes and you allow it to like slow cook.
Yeah.
It takes time. A lot of my recipes, you be patient. It's worth it.
For sure, especially with
so
the...
that's like an amazing side that everyone should try.
And you used a really great word, ratios, because
Right.
like you have simple ingredients, but if it's not exactly measured correctly, it's not going to be great. It's going to be too sweet. It's going to be something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Ratio is everything when cooking. And I recipe tested everything in the cookbook, like myself, 2, 3, even 4 times, because sometimes somebody can have one oven and that can control
Yeah.
things. But I try to make recipes that work. Like I think about, okay, whether somebody has a fancy oven or a old beat up oven that
Sure.
their landlord doesn't want to replace, this recipe is going to work. And I take a look at all those different factors to make sure it's really good.
It makes it very challenging.
Yeah.
And when you test it 4 times, you know it's going to work.
For sure.
That's the best. Tony, and this is Taste. We ask guests about their discerning taste. So to close this interview, here's a little rapid fire, fast and furious taste check. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The best fruit.
Oh, mangoes.
Love that. The worst vegetable.
Broccolini.
Yeah, it can be a tough hang.
Yeah, broccolini for me. Yeah.
What is your typical breakfast?
Oh, good one. This is a good one. I do a 2 egg sunny side up with tostones, so just fried plantain.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have it with avocado, some bacon. Pretty heavy breakfast, but
It sounds amazing.
I need it. I love to eat.
Start the day right. Big one. The best dessert.
Ooh, the best dessert, bread pudding. There's a place in Hoboken, New Jersey called Antique Bakery. They have one of like the oldest cast irons and brick ovens in the entire country, and they have a phenomenal bread pudding that inspired the one that I have in my cookbook. It's like big and bready, and they use brioche bread, and it's phenomenal when done correctly.
Couple more. Your favorite city outside America to visit for food?
Favorite city outside of America to visit? I have to say San Juan. I'm Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican food and culture is vibrant, unlike anything I've seen, and it's like so rated to me.
It's a great call. Last one. Your favorite sandwich?
you know what? That's like tough. I'm going to have to go with a bacon, egg, and cheese. Like I grew up eating them.
Yeah.
It never ketchup, hot sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper. Easy, really tasty. Can never go wrong.
Tony Chapman, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining This Is Taste.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
This Is Taste is hosted and produced by Eliza Barbanal and me, Matt Rodbard. The show is edited by lead producer Clayton Gumbert and supervised by Pat Stango, Director of Media Production and Development at Penguin Random House. Thanks to Shalia Harris and the production team at Penguin Random House. Theme music by Steve Rydell. Logo and guest illustrations by Ellie Skurzat. Visit Taste online at tastecooking.com and make sure to subscribe to our newsletter to keep updated on all cool things in the world of taste.